positions, which a lot of us are, I cannot see a woman who cannot access medical care and have a little money and a stop to give them. And it's just sort of what, a normal human person would do. And then I think maybe finally for me is the how. How then do you get involved? And in how you get involved means you must understand. And our president of the women, Honorable Siengo, has told us, a lot of us, we just romanticize how we'll get into politics. But you must first of all know that you must get into a political party. If you don't get into a political party, it becomes very difficult because you'll be fighting against bigwigs. You cannot be fighting against Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. You can't be fighting against William Samoei Ruto and others. It is better to get into those big political parties. Volunteer now, get your space, be seen, be heard, be known, be valued within those political parties. But even within those processes, you'll be also understanding other dynamics within politics. For instance, there are a lot of times what we see outside is not actually what is happening in the background. You will come and get to know the intricate issues and the intrigues within politics, and you will learn how to manage them. You will learn how to manage the gender dynamics within politics, how there are subtle biases that are not on the front. You will be learning about feminization even of adjectives, that there are certain things that apply to women that do not apply to men just by virtue. And then the sense of male entitlement that you can find, for instance, in the case that I was buying more recently, that a person who's just done 1 or 2 years has the audacity to stand against me. But when you say it's a gender issue, they say, no, it's not, it's just that it's a member. Why can't they vie against Junet, for instance? So there are very subtle gender dynamics that come into play, and those are issues that you will have to deal with. And then also learning about how to develop thick skin, how to manage your space, how to do resource mobilization, how to network, and how finally to be a bad girl. Because as I've said before, nice girls never get the corner office. You only get the corner office if you are a bad girl, like Millie Odhiambo. Thank you. The lessons that, there are many lessons that we've learned. It's also an intergenerational forum for today, where we have women who are already in politics, as elected or nominated. We had both senators and women members of parliament offering mentorship to the other women. So it was actually a joint mentorship today with the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, or KEWOPA. And one of the core things that we told the women is that, one, you need to understand who you are before you get into politics, because politics is a very dirty space, and unless you are sure about who you are, it is very easy to be swept by the winds. It is so easy to be swept by winds of ideology. It is easy to be swept by winds of character. It is easy to be swept by wind of, different activities. So you must be very, very clear about why you get into politics, who you are. You must be very clear about why you want to get into politics. And the why has to do with your values. A lot of people think that politics is glamorous, so they want to come in for a quick buck. Because of the way we have exercised, unfortunately, too much opulence. And want to thank the Gen Zs for actually forcing politicians to get back to why we are into politics, and which is to serve the country. But even so, I have seen many people who are avowed defenders of the good, and when they get into parliament, they change. And they start going in the same direction. So you must be very clear about why you are getting into politics. And if you have, you must first of all have your values intact, so that when you get into politics, your values are not contaminated by all the values that you find. Within politics, you will find the people who, can sell you a cemetery. You can find the people who have title deeds to heaven, and they have all manner. We are a melting pot of sorts in politics. We have lawyers, you have doctors, but you also have thieves. That is a granted. So when you come in, you have to know who you really are and stand by those values, so that your values are not contaminated and you are focused, like some of my colleagues have said. You must also know when you want to get into politics, because the timing is very important into politics. But for women, we tell them the when is now, because our numbers are few. And the when is now because the circumstances are fairly much more favorable than they were in the past. And then you also need to know the what. And the what here basically means that you need to understand which office that you are going for. And for you to understand the office that you are going for, you need to shadow one of the members of parliament, or one of the or a person under the position that you want to go for. If you want to go for governorship, shadow a governor. If you want to go for MCA, shadow an MCA, so that you don't get shocked when you get into this space and you're like, wow, this is not what I actually thought politics was about. And the reason I say this is because we've over-glamorized politics. And it's not that. Politics is a very selfless service. A lot of times we are just, I call myself a conduit. I can get 1 million shillings now, but I can assure you by the evening it will be gone. And it will not be gone because I was drinking and making merry, but because I'm helping a woman who is sick in the constituency. I'm helping